radio station. And of course, you can watch us. We're on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to supertalktv.com. And today we're going to learn about rice. It is one of the most nutritious and popular foods in the entire world. And it's also a major industry right here in Mississippi. And joining us today to share their love of rice is Miss Anna Scott. She is your 2022 Mississippi Rice Queen. And Brant Davis, he is our Rice Ambassador for the year. So welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
It's so good to have you. Congratulations to you both. But Anna Scott, I'm going to start with you. Give us a little background, because I know to even get in the rice pageant, you have to have some connection to the rice industry. So where are your ties?
My family farms rice right here in the Delta in Bolivar and Sunflower County.
How long have they been doing that?
I'd say about 50, 60 years.
So they're not new to the business. They're not new to it's not a new rodeo for them, should you say. So you know nothing but rice farming in terms of your family's business.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Brant, what about you? What are your ties to the rice industry in Mississippi?
I'm connected on both sides of my family. My great-grandfather, J.T. Davis, started his own rice seed company in Marigold, and my great-grandfather, Joe Aguzzi, is still growing rice and has been for over 60 years. I also work during the summer helping on the farm with planting, maintaining, and even harvesting rice. So I would say growing rice is in my genes.
Brant, how many summer days or fall days did you spend out there in the rice fields helping your family out?
Yes, ma'am.
What'd you do? What were some of your duties on the farm?
Well, with rice, I'd help check rice, check water, and relay that information back to the bosses.
There you go. The bosses being Miss Anna Scott, because she's our queen. She's our rice queen for this year. So in terms of economic impact, Anna Scott, how much does the rice farmers do for our state?
So in 2021, rice brought in $91 million to Mississippi's state economy. And each year, rice farmers themselves contribute about $1 million to the local economy.
So that's not small business. That's big business that the rice industry is doing for our state. You know, you often think about that you have these big corporate farms, but really most of our farm families here in Mississippi are still family owned and operated and usually moderate size. So do y'all know what maybe the average size of the rice farmer is here in Mississippi?
I wouldn't say there's an average size for a rice farm in Mississippi because it varies. It varies on a lot of factors, like if your land is rented, leased, if it's owned, how many years your farm has been active, and the funds that it has. There's a lot that goes into it. It's really tough to put an average number on the size.
So, Brant, I know you grew up maybe working on the rice farm, and Anna Scott, you may have too. Don't want to leave the ladies out. They can do a little farm work as well. But what's sort of the growing season? When do you plant? When are you harvesting? And maybe where are we at right now in terms of the rice crop?
Well, the rice growing season is full of excitement from the day farmers start putting seed into the ground in late March or early April to harvest in September through October. And throughout the growing season, farmers are having to fertilize, spray, and water their rice. And managing rice is an everyday event throughout the growing season. And right now, we are nearing the end of harvest for our rice farmers, with some that have already finished, and the later planted rice, which is being fully harvested and will be done by the end of October.
So do the farmers get a little bit of a break? Do the farms kind of like, high five, hug, and say great season and sort of take a siesta before gearing back up? Or is there always something going on the farm?
Well, of course, there's always some downtime, but, throughout, farmers have to get together and make a plan on how they're going to take on next year.
Well, hopefully it's a good year, and I know it's harvest time right now, which is always a fun time, or at least the exciting time. You get to see the fruits of your labor, or the rice of your labor, should I say it that way. Anna Scott, tell us a few fun facts. Like if many of us listening to Good Things didn't grow up on a rice farm, but we know that rice is associated with the Mississippi Delta, but give us some other good facts that we might not know.
So there are more than 120,000 varieties of rice being grown. Another really fun fact is that Mississippi ranks 6th in rice production. And one more for you. The average American consumes 27 pounds of rice a year.
That's pretty good. That leads into my next question, Brant, would be, what's your favorite way to eat rice that's grown there in the Mississippi Delta?
I would say my favorite dish is Delta rice.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, what do you like with you? Just like butter and salt? That's how you like your rice?
My grandmother's been cooking it forever, and it's just grown on to me.
So you don't even like a little gravy on it. You just want good old Delta rice.
I just love good old Delta rice.
Well, I appreciate that. And Scott, do you add anything to your rice?
I like chicken and rice. Chicken and rice is good.
I've never said no to gravy if there's rice around. Or I've never said no to gravy when rice is around, should I say it that way. Do y'all have like a favorite family dish? I know you mentioned your grandmother's been cooking forever, Brant. Does she cook it in the same sort of, cast iron pot? Is there some tradition with the rice dishes that you guys just grew up with?
Well, my grandmother has been cooking rice since as long as I can remember. I'm pretty sure we have it every single Sunday at our family lunches, so it's definitely a staple in our family.
Well, it's a staple in a lot of people's family, which is why Mississippi is number 6, as you mentioned, in the industry. They're growing something that people want and they enjoy, and it's got, such versatility into the way that you can cook it and sort of use it. I know right now my mind's going to red beans and rice. I just texted my mom the other day and was like, Mom, it's getting cold outside, colder. I'm going to need a good batch of red beans and rice. But you two decided to enter, or I guess go up for, obviously, Rice Queen and Rice Ambassador. So what encouraged you guys to be a good voice for the rice industry here in Mississippi?
As I said, my family has been involved in the farming industry for as long as I can remember, and it is a huge part of how I grew up, watching my grandfather and father and great-grandfather out on the farm. And so I really wanted to continue to give back to the community that helped raise me.
And for you, Brant, what encouraged you to get out there and be a rice ambassador?
Same here. My family's been farming rice for a long, long time in Mississippi, and with myself being able to work on hand with my family in the rice fields, I felt that this is the first year that Delta Rice Promotions has, come up with this Rice Ambassador for the boys. And I felt that this would be a great position for me to not only give back to promote rice, but to do it with a position.
Well, I love it, and I think you guys both have a passion for it, and you're doing good for the industry, obviously, and reminding us that the Mississippi Delta is hard at work whenever we go to enjoy our rice and gravy or our red beans and rice or our stir fry or just the way you like it, Brant, with a little bit of butter and next to whatever else is on our plate. So if we want more information about the rice industry here in Mississippi, where do we go?
There are multiple websites you can go to. Delta Rice Promotions has a website that has very valuable information. Mississippi State Extension Office has a website with good information. Another website you can use is the U.S. Rice Federation, or you can look up usarice.com, and they have a lot of great information for you about rice.
Will y'all be out and about this year at different events if people want to get out and meet you guys?
Yes, ma'am, we will.
All righty. Well, I hope our paths cross. If not, I hope you have a great year and eat lots of rice.
Yeah.
You too.
There you go. Who knew? Mississippi 6th in the industry when it comes to rice. I think that's pretty cool. And that means because this time last year was when I got schooled by the 2021 Rice Queen that the best way to cook rice is you don't what, Rhino?
Stir it.
I've known that for a year now. I even tested it out. It works. You just
It's like magic.
put it in there and you don't touch it. And then it's rice magic.